Shazam Fury of the Gods is the latest DC film. How does it fare? Let's have a look. Now, before we get started, I just wanted to state that I really liked the first Shazam. It's a solid 7 out of 10. It had heart, humor, and some cool action scenes. This, however, was a huge step down for me. A lot of the story is generic and predictable, which isn't always a bad thing, as long as you can find a way to make it entertaining. But I found myself mostly bored throughout the whole film. There's so much exposition dump again and again, scene after scene, and for the most of it, we're just told instead of being shown. The humor never lands but falls flat on its face every time. A lot of the character motivations, including the villains, make sense on paper, but the execution is just not good enough. The main character's internal struggle is stated in the beginning of the film, but it never really quite resolves itself by the end. Instead, most of the emotion of this film resides on Freddy, and it feels like more screen time is spent on him instead of Billy as Shazam. I really feel like it would have benefited more if we got to spend more time with Billy. The action scenes were okay. They do this thing where they have a family moment, then an action scene, followed by another family moment, and another action scene, which in and of itself is fine. Family is the theme of the movie after all, but in this case they repeat it so often that it kind of ruins the pacing for me. I feel like it'd be better if they started with a family moment, go through all the action scenes, then wrap it up with another family moment. The dragon from the trailer was pretty cool, but the main villain being an old lady makes it feel kind of weird rooting for the hero to beat up an old lady. All the actors do fine with what they're given, but like I said, the material there is just boring. There's a moment in the film where a character makes a sacrifice, which I thought they wouldn't be brave enough to do, but they did, which I give them props for. The thing is, a moment later everything gets reverted, so the sacrifice loses any weight it had, which takes away any tension or stakes. There's also a cameo at the end from a certain character. It's cool, but it makes you wonder where that character was during the big fight at the end of Act 3. All in all, I was pretty disappointed with Shazam Fury of the Gods, despite liking the first one. It was really boring, the story arcs weren't satisfying, not enough time is spent with the protagonist for there to be any real character arc, the plot is predictable, and the villains come across as generic and uninteresting. I give this a 5 out of 10. Well, those are my thoughts. What were yours? Did you like or dislike the film? And why? Let me know in the comments below. Until then, see you next time.